Good evening, everyone, and welcome back inside East Gymnasium here at Fort Lee for the championship final of the 2021 Jack Reilly Holiday Tournament. Now let's meet the starting five for both teams. First, for the visiting Kennedy Knights, number 1, Jalen Gore. Number 5, Zaire Simmons. Number 11, Jaquan Briggs. Number 13, Yasin Crawford. And number 15, Jesus Romero. The Knights are coached by head coach Tommy Patterson. Now let's meet your Fort Lee Bridgemen. Number 5, Greg Garcia. Number 10, Devin Jang. Number 11, Isaiah Stang. Number 22, Xavier Martinez. And number 44, Rafi Gakian. And the Bridgemen are coached by Adam Schrager. Let's play ball. Good evening and welcome inside East Gymnasium here at Fort Lee, the setting for our 2021 Jack Reilly Holiday Tournament Championship Final between the defending champions, the Knights of Kennedy High School, 2-2 on the season, taking on the Fort Lee Bridgemen, the 2018 Holiday Champs, 4-2 on the season. Hello everyone, I'm Dan Long, joined alongside by my broadcast crew here at Fort Lee, Dimitri Nanis and Renee Manisic. So glad that you could join us for our championship game, the 12th and final game of this tournament. And the opening tip is won by Zaire Simmons and Kennedy. Kennedy, the roadside, there in their all black uniforms. And Fort Lee, the home side, here at East Gym in their white uniforms with orange numerals. Tommy Patterson leading his team back-to-back wins in this tournament after they were called at the last minute on Monday morning to fit into this field. A miss on the first opening possession of the night for Kennedy. Now Fort Lee operating on offense. Fort Lee victorious against Secaucus and Wayne Hills to punch their ticket to this championship final. Kennedy defeated Memorial in overtime in the quarterfinals and had a laugher against Passaic Valley in the semifinals. That shot from 3 by Jang off the mark. Now here comes Kennedy down the other floor. Up and under and one. Zaire Simmons, the outstanding freshman forward who's averaging 16 points a game in this tournament, draws the contact and the foul. Fouls are going to be a huge concern for Coach Schrager's side here today. Garcia picking up the foul for Fort Lee, his first, team's first. Simmons missing the foul shot. Crawford saves the possession but throws it into the backcourt. That leads to a turnover. Stang going up and under the other way. And Isaiah Stang gives Fort Lee their first points of the game. Ties the score up at 2-all. Crawford had saved it, but then threw it into his own backcourt, so he's either going to be picked up by Fort Lee or a turnover, and that's going to count as a three-pointer. For Yasin Crawford makes amends after the turnover by knocking down his first triple of the game. 9 points per game in this tournament for number 13 in black. 5-2 lead for Kennedy. Stang, nice dish and drive. Garcia blew the layup, though. Rebounded underneath by Kennedy and Simmons. Here's another pull-up jumper from Crawford. Skying high to secure the rebound was Briggs. Romero's three was blocked away by Gakian. Jesus Romero caught fire in the first quarter against Passaic Valley in the semis, knocking down 3 three-pointers in the first quarter alone. He inbounds it up top. Crawford again trying his luck from 3. This time no good. Garcia with the rebound. 2 minutes gone by here in the final. 5-2 lead for JFK. Up top to Devin Jang. Jang's first appearance in this tournament after being unavailable in the first 2 games. Here's a corner shot by Gakian, no good. Rebounded instead by Crawford. Romero kicking out in the corner. There's Briggs just inside the three-point line. Pulls up for the baseline, Jay. Jaquan Briggs, 24.5 points per game in this tournament for Kennedy. He has been their star. 7-2 lead in the early goings here for the Knights. Xavier Martinez, he's been a three-point specialist for this Fort Lee side, giving it over to Gakian. Gakian with his fluorescent green sneakers, handing it off for Stang. Stang pull-up jumper from the foul line. It's good. Isaiah Stang off and running. He's got the first 4 points of the game for Fort Lee. 7-4 advantage for the visitors from Patterson. 3 minutes gone by here in the first. Last 2 tournament champions squaring off here in 2021 after there was no tournament last season. Romero up top. Over to Crawford on the baseline. Reverse layup against Gakian. No good. Gakian with the rebound. Good defense there by the Fort Lee big man. Here comes Stang in the open floor, giving it back to Gakian. Martinez in the near side corner. Operates, give and go to Garcia. Garcia denied by Simmons. And Simmons triggers the break the other way. Simmons is fouled on his way up. As already Zaire Simmons is doing it on both sides of the floor. The freshman growing in leaps and bounds throughout the course of this tournament. Second foul of the game against Fort Lee, as that foul will be charged to Isaiah Stang. Simmons 0 for 2 now at the line. Yeah, 19 points, including 1 3-pointer in the semifinal win against Passaic Valley. He and Jaquan Briggs were the dynamic duo in that game. Second foul shot also no good by Simmons, so he's 0 for 3 at the line. 7-4 lead now for Kennedy. Bem Ogadegbe into the game for the first time for Coach Schrager's Bridgman. Nearly a steal by Simmons in the open floor. Here's Ogadegbe. Ogadegbe was outstanding in the semifinals. Kicks out to Devin Jang. Jang's 3, no good. Garcia skying for the rebound. Last touch off of him, though. Goes out of bounds and will be possession going back to Kennedy. Ogadegbe, 13 points in the win against Wayne Hills. Fort Lee getting healthier after having a couple of players out of the lineup to begin this tournament early in the week. Body control, but no finish there for Briggs. Here's Stang in the open floor. Dizzying drive to the rim, kick out corner 3, no good. Fort Lee's got to hit those to pull the upset here tonight. Gakian dribbling around, getting it up top to Stang. Stang has had a nice start to this game. High in the air and nothing but net. Isaiah Stang with all 6 Fort Lee points. They're back to within 1 at 7-6. And there's a foul on the reach-in against Fort Lee. And again, Fort Lee cannot afford to get in foul difficulty, not just because it's going against Kennedy, but because they don't have that many players at their disposal to begin with. Third team foul against Fort Lee. Kennedy is yet to foul in this game as we're coming up on 3 minutes left to go in the first quarter. Fort Lee has been known for their defense early on this season, allowing just under 44 points a game for their opponents. Romero, pull-up jumper inside the three-point line, no good, rebounded by Garcia. As Schrager tells Ogadegbe to slow it down. Fort Lee trying to take the lead here on this offensive possession. Ogadegbe, second leading scorer on the team with 11.2 per game. Got the handoff from Gakian. Here's Ogadegbe. Stops, give it to Garcia. Garcia on the baseline, gets up, and he gets denied again. Another block shot for Simmons and company. Here's Simmons going coast to coast. Lost it on the transfer. Stang now taking it down the other way. Ogadegbe pulls up for 3. Off the back iron, no good. Crawford with a rebound. Crawford weaving his way up and under, lays it in, and 1. Yasin Crawford now with a chance at a traditional three-point play Already Crawford with 5 points in the game for the Knights. Ogadegbe will commit the foul, and Bem already with 2 personal fouls against him. 4th team foul against Fort Lee. Crawford's foul shot is short, though. Kennedy 0 for 4 from the line here in the first quarter. Kennedy lead is at 3, 9-6, coming up in the final 2 minutes of the quarter. There's a penetration drive again. Garcia missing another one in close. Garcia has been rushed with those shot blockers in front. Briggs, nice move to the rim, just couldn't get it to fall. Staying in the open floor. Tries to go reverse and does so. It's been the Isaiah Stang show so far. 8 points. As he is unbelievable right now in this game. Crawford pulls up from distance, no good. Ball bounces out with the offensive rebound taken in by Briggs. 9-8 lead, 90 seconds left to go in the first quarter for Kennedy. Gore on the baseline. Here's Briggs again. Briggs no good. Good box out. Gakian could not get it. It takes a weird carom into the hands of Kennedy. Kennedy tries to maneuver in tight. Good positional defense, though, by the Bridgeman. Here's Gakian now trying to get it out past mid-floor himself. And finally, he'll draw the reach-in foul. That'll be the first team foul against Kennedy here in the first quarter. 9-8 lead for Kennedy. Once again, Fort Lee's going to be in a position here to try to take their first lead. Romero picked up the personal, his first. Gakian inside, and that leads to an Ogadegbe layup, and Fort Lee has taken the lead at 10-9. First 2 points of the night for Ogadegbe. Rotating into the corner, and an immediate answer with a 3-point shot for Kennedy. As the Knights rattle home the 3-point shot, they take a 12-10 lead, and now intercepting that pass. Here comes Kennedy again into the open floor. Missed layup, but the putback is there by Briggs. That last 3 was from Kaman Rutherford. Just like that, 5-0 run for Kennedy after the Bridgemen had taken their lead. 14-10. Ogadegbe up top. 3 seconds left. Martinez, corner 3, high arcer, rattled in just to beat the buzzer. And Kennedy's 4-point lead is cut down to 1, 14-13. As Fort Lee playing solid team basketball, beating the buzzer there at the ends with a 3-ball knocked down by Xavier Martinez, his 5th made 3 of the tournament. And after 1 quarter of play, it's Kennedy 14, Fort Lee 13. Stick around as we're about to start the second quarter play. You're watching coverage of the 2021 Jack Reilly Final here on YouTube. Kennedy scored 50 points and had 6 3-pointers in the first half of their 87-62 win over Passaic Valley in the semifinals. They're trying to repeat here as holiday tournament champs after defeating Paramus Catholic in the 2019 final here in Fort Lee, 69-59. Fort Lee has had a balanced scoring approach throughout this tournament. Being led early on here by Isaiah Stang. He has 8 of his team's 13. Jang was thinking about that long-range 3 that would have been from the parking lot. Jang kick out into the corner to Stang. Fort Lee fighting and clawing back and forth here with Kennedy. They held Kennedy to 14 points in the first quarter. They had 25 against Passaic Valley in the first and second quarters. On their way to a 50-point first half. Kennedy averaging 62 points a game this season. Jang forced into a 3 there. Jang has been ice cold since rejoining the lineup here for Fort Lee. He last played in their win here against Old Japan just before the holiday on December 23rd. Briggs outlets it into the corner. Here's another pull-up three, this time short on the near side by Rutherford. Rebound secured underneath by Fort Lee. Here come the Bridgemen again, down by 1. Tinsley into the game for the first time. Jamal Tinsley has been a revelation in this tournament, averaging 8.5 points per game for Coach Schrager. Martinez from 15 off the back iron, no good. Gore with a rebound. Here comes Briggs. Briggs had 29 in this quarterfinal, win in overtime against Memorial. Missed that initial shot, and then it's going to be a foul over the back against Kennedy. So the Knights will pick up their second team foul of the half. Like I said, Kennedy was given the text, the call, whatever, from Coach Schrager saying, hey, can you join the field here in this tournament? We really need an 8th team. They said yes after they were supposed to be playing in a tournament in Patterson that got canceled due to COVID. Had a hard-fought game against Memorial of West New York and won in overtime. Tinsley trying to guide that one home, misses on the 3. Here's Crawford from up top, into the corner. All by his lonesome. Briggs elects to take it down and drive to the rim and lays it up and in. Jaquan Briggs with 6 points. Leads the scoring right now in this first half for Kennedy. 2 minutes gone by in the second quarter. Stang left that one short. Garcia missed the putback. And Greg Garcia has been struggling here. He has missed about 4 layup attempts in tight in this game as he's visibly frustrated coming back on defense. 16-13, now the lead for Kennedy. And a timeout's going to be asked for Coach Tommy Patterson. He'll want to diagnose something here in the huddle for his team, who leads Fort Lee 16-13. You're watching coverage of the 2021 Jack Reilly Holiday Tournament Championship Final. Kennedy on top of Fort Lee 16-13. Come back soon here on YouTube. So after the timeout, it's going to be Kennedy with the possession here. 5:53 remaining in our second quarter. 16-13 lead for the Knights. Crawford looks to Romero on the far left side. Inside now it goes to Latson. Here's another baseline jumper for Briggs, and this time he misses. Ogadegbe stepping up high to get that rebound. Ogadegbe with 2 fouls in the half. Lulls his defender to sleep with a ball on a yo-yo. Gets it to go with the layup. 4 points in the half for Bem Ogadegbe. 16-15 now the lead for Kennedy. Here's Simmons. Simmons trying to get past Ogadegbe. Fires that one high off the glass and kisses it home. Zaire Simmons now with 4 points in the half. 18-15, the lead for the Knights of Kennedy. Came into this tournament 0-2 on the season after losses against Teaneck and Patterson Charter. Have righted the ship to win 2 in a row in this tournament, trying to get above 500 for the first time this season. Ogadegbe, nice stutter step. Gets it over to the corner. Here's Stang getting by his defender, still holding on to it. After the bobble transfer, Stang will pull up from distance, no good. Gakian trying to tip it out to himself. Great box out underneath the rim there by Romero on the edge. That'll give possession back over to Kennedy. 4:30 and counting now left to go here in the first half of play. Simmons, step back jumper, air ball. Great on-ball defense there by Gakian. Ogadegbe picks up his dribble and also moves and shuffles his feet. Trying to do that power stop, but in the process took an extra step. Across the middle, Latson. He got knocked away, and then the follow-up by Jalen Gore inside is good. Latson was knocked away as he was making his way into the hoop. Gore with a cleanup. Into the corner now, Martinez, high arcer, no good. Romero with the rebound. 20-15 lead for Kennedy. Kick out into the baseline. That's where Briggs likes to set up. Try to reverse it to Latson. Martinez anticipated. He stole it away, and it's now going to be a foul whistled against Kennedy. That'll be the third team foul against the Knights. With that last putback by Jalen Gore, Kennedy becoming the first team here at East Gymnasium to score at least 20 points and a half in a first half against Fort Lee. Fort Lee had held all of their previous four opponents to 19 points or less in a first half of play. Fort Lee 3-1 at home this season. Ogadegbe for three, no good. Rebounded instead by Latson. Here comes Crawford. Crawford with 5 points and a half for Kennedy. Calls for the pick. Romero, far side in front of Fort Lee's sideline, and Romero rattles it home. His first three-pointer of the game, third of the half for Kennedy. Extending their lead now, the largest lead to 8, 23-15. Jang, he's looking for this one, no good. Stang gets the rebound. He'll pull it back out. Stang watched by Romero. Stang with 8 points in the game, up and under, kick out into the corner. Gakian for three, no good. And for Fort Lee, this is a team that has really good outside shooting. They need to knock down three-pointers to really make a difference in this game, especially when they don't have the height advantage that Kennedy has. They need to hit those shots. They need to hit those gimmies inside as well. Romero off the dribble, no good. Tipped out in space. Latson saves it in play. Here's Crawford off the dribble. Power dribble up and under. Oh, beautifully splitting the double team. Yasin Crawford with 7 points. Now Kennedy going on a run here late in the first half. They lead by 10, 25-15. They've put the lockdown on Fort Lee, who have scored only 2 points in the second quarter after putting up 13 in the first. Ogadegbe. They work it around the perimeter. Here's Chang, step back jumper. Chang's jumper off the mark. There's Romero settling it down. Coach Patterson, 2 hands out, telling his team to calm it down. Briggs with a little shake and bake jumper on the baseline, no good. Garcia with a good box out, gets the rebound, hands it off to Ogadegbe. Ogadegbe across the lane, he lost it in the transfer. Now Romero looking to trigger the breakout. Here comes Briggs the other way, skies to the rim with the left hand, no good. Looked back at the official for the call. Call didn't come. Here comes Stang in the open floor to Ogadegbe. Ogadegbe right to the lane, no good. And another missed layup here for Fort Lee. Nothing coming easily right now for the offense for the Bridgemen. Again, stuck on only 2 points in the quarter. 1 minute remaining here in the second quarter. As Kennedy taking a little air to the ball, also allowing their star, Jaquan Briggs, to tie his shoelace. 25-15. Kennedy outscoring Fort Lee in this quarter, 11-2. Kennedy might be electing to hold for a final shot of the half. Crawford barking out the instructions with his coach in the background as well, diagnosing where his players need to go. Crawford doesn't need any help whatsoever. 9 points to lead the way for Kennedy in the first half. The lead is the largest of the half by 12, 27-15 for the Knights. Ogadegbe getting it to Gakian in the high post. Here's Garcia picking up the dribble to Jang. Jang is going to shoot it. Again, he remains scoreless in that first half, and Kennedy administered the lockdown defense in that second quarter. 27-15, the lead for Kennedy as we head to halftime here of the 2021 Jack Reilly Holiday Tournament Championship Final. Stick around as we'll be back for all the exciting action to begin the second half of play as you're watching all this coverage courtesy of the Fort Lee Athletic Department. Welcome back, everybody, inside East Gymnasium here at Fort Lee as we're moments away from the resumption of play in the start of the second half. Kennedy in front of Fort Lee by a score of 27-15. It was a 1-point lead after one for Kennedy at 14-13, and then they locked down on defense. Fort Lee has had the shot opportunities. They've even had wide open shot opportunities, but those threes just have not been falling here tonight, and that's what they needed to pull the upset against Kennedy. Kennedy outscoring Fort Lee 13-2 in that second quarter to push their lead out here to 12. And looking at the stats from the first half of play, Kennedy being led by the 9 points of Yasin Crawford. Jaquan Briggs has chipped in 6 points as well, while Fort Lee is being led by Isaiah Stang's 8 points in the half. Bem Ogadegbe 4 points off the bench for Coach Schrager's side as well. So now the interesting thing is going to see how do the Bridgemen respond immediately coming out of the second half of play. They had an inspired effort in that first quarter going toe-to-toe. They had that big three-pointer just to beat the buzzer at the end of the first quarter by Xavier Martinez, but then the well ran dry. They've missed some layups. They've missed wide-open shots from the outside. And if you're Devin Jang, you have to be the mindset of a knockdown three-point shooter. You can't be disappointed in how you haven't been able to knock anything down. You have to think that the next shot is going to be the good shot that's going to fall. And for Kennedy, it's just more of the same. You have the size advantage, you have the opportunities you have to try to convert on and try to widen this lead as well as you're trying to defend your tournament title here at Fort Lee. So the second half is underway. Kennedy in the road black, Fort Lee defending in the home white. Again, the first time an opponent has come here to East Gymnasium and scored more than 20 points in the first half, and what a start there to start the beginning of the second half. And a dump down low to Zaire Simmons, the freshman, lays it in, and he's got 6. Lead is now 14, 29-15. Isaiah Stang, who had a blistering start to this game, missing on the open three. Romero getting it up top to Crawford. Coach Schrager trying to cheer on his side defensively. Here's Simmons pulling it out as Romero then reverses it to the far side. Here's Crawford from three, no good. No one blocking out Gore inside, and Gore is stripped and fouled there by Greg Garcia. First foul of the second half against the Bridgemen. Second foul of the game against Garcia. And that's going to be a travel called against Simmons. A little over-anxious there to try to make his cut to the rim was the freshman. Simmons with 6 points in his final. Ogadegbe breaking the pressure, getting it over to the far side wing to Devin Jang. Jang coughs it up, though. Leads to a turnover and a break for Crawford the other way. Yasin Crawford with 11 points in the game. That's a game-high 11. 31-15 now, largest lead of the game at 16. Gakin dropping it down low for Garcia, and Garcia, turnaround shot is good. Garcia with his first 2 points of the game. Has to feel good for Garcia after having so many opportunities in tight in the first half that just didn't fall. 31-17, Kennedy in control here. On the baseline, stripped as they work it around to Romero. Romero try to fit that one into Simmons. Good interception, though, by Jang. Jang to Ogadegbe, trying to get it up the floor. Here's Stang. That's the man flying in front of him. Stang, step back three, it's good. Isaiah Stang with 11 points to lead the way for the Bridgemen. 5 straight, 5 unanswered points for Fort Lee, back to within 11. Simmons muscles his way inside, but can't get it to fall. Rebound out into the hands of Garcia. Watching the Jack Reilly Holiday Tournament Final here on YouTube. Dan Long, so honored that you could join us for our broadcast. This is our 12th broadcast of this tournament. A matchup of the top 2 teams who are undefeated throughout this tournament. Here's Stang, now watched by Briggs. Gets it over to Jang. Jang back to Isaiah Stang, back to Jang, step back three. There it is! Devin Jang with the first three-pointer of this game for the sophomore. He's a sharpshooter. He can catch fire. Fort Lee on a run. They've pulled back to within 8, 31-23. Coming up on 3 minutes gone by here in the third quarter. Romero steps into a corner three, no good. Rebounded out into the hands of Isaiah Stang. Fort Lee trying to use this momentum run. Ogadegbe. Now Jang, back to Ogadegbe. Bem had 4 points in the first half. Give it to Gakian. Gakian up top to Garcia. Jang. Step back into the corner. Gakian elects to be more of a facilitator. Back to Jang. Jang thought about the three. Just hit a three moments ago. Drives down the near side lane, but missing it off the glass. Good offensive moves in the last couple of possessions for Fort Lee. Again, they've been on a run here. They fell down by as many as 16 in this quarter. 8-0 run by the Bridgemen have pulled back to within 8, 31-23. 4 minutes left to go here in the third quarter, There's Crawford again. Crawford's been toying with Fort Lee here tonight. Just lulling his defenders to sleep. Inside to Garcia. Garcia getting stronger as the game progresses. He now has 4. Crawford, the high water man in the game, 13 for number 13 in black. He has the ball right now. Romero. Top of the key, kick out to Crawford. Stang flies by him. Gore picks up his dribble. He's trying to be tied up on the play. Simmons, he lost the ball as he was trying to make a move on the baseline. Here's Stang in the open floor. He's fouled before he could get a shot up. They're going to say foul on the floor, as that's going to be the first team foul against Kennedy here in the second half. Isaiah Stang with 11 points for Fort Lee. 13 points for Yasin Crawford. Now into Xavier Martinez. Martinez across the lane, out to Gakian for the three. Got it! Rafi Gakian with his first made three. Now Fort Lee starting to believe here. 33-28, the lead is down to 5. Crawford. Haven't seen anything from Briggs yet here in the second half. Briggs into the corner to Romero. Back up top to the leading scorer for this Kennedy side. Back to Romero on the baseline, pull-up jumper on the baseline, too strong. Ogadegbe trying to kick it out in space, but it's going to be deflected. Last touch off of Isaiah Stang and out of bounds. Missed opportunity there for the Bridgemen of Fort Lee. Making a run here in the third quarter. The lead was 116. Now it's down to 5. Crawford to Romero. Romero pulling it out close to midcourt. He'll pull up for three from distance. No good. Good rebounding position underneath the rim by Garcia. Another board for the Fort Lee Bridgemen. An intercepted pass the other way. Razzle-dazzle time. And the reverse flush for Jaquan Briggs. 8 points in the game now for number 11. Gakin getting it up top. Ogadegbe. Lead back to 7. Ogadegbe across the lane to the near left side. No good. Gore pushing the transition. Open floor. No good. Good defense underneath the rim without fouling Fort Lee. Standing tall as Briggs was sailing to the hoop. Trying to get to double digits in this game. Briggs lurks in that near side far corner. That far side corner. Crawford trying to get past the defense, pulls up from straight away. Nothing but nylon. Yasin Crawford now with 16 points in the game. That is his second three-pointer And the senior guard who came into this final averaging 9 points a game throughout the tournament has a game-high 16 and a timeout taken by Coach Adam Schrager as Fort Lee fought back to within 5, but now the lead has grown back to 10. Yasin Crawford with 16 points in this game. He's coming off a 12-point performance in the semifinals against Passaic Valley. This Kennedy Knights team in 2019-2020 season went 27-4 on their way to capturing the North 1 Group 4 sectional championship. They eventually lost to Elizabeth in the last game of the season before the COVID shutdown put an end to all of the title game hopes in the state of New Jersey. No state championship games were played in time as the COVID pandemic officially canceled the end of that basketball season before state championships could be played, but Kennedy did manage to win their sectional title before losing to Elizabeth in the Group 4 semifinals. But an outstanding season for Coach Tommy Patterson's side. They went 7-1 last year in the COVID-shortened season, where no state championships were to be played for, and now trying to get to 3-2 this season. Gakian looking for an outlet and doesn't get it in time. A 10-second call. Gakian tried to plead his case that he had the ability to get over the half-court stripe, and he was wondering why that wasn't deemed to be successful. He thought he did enough. So the violation leads to a turnover, and Jang will come back into the game now with Ogadegbe getting a breather. Crawford trying to lead his team to another tournament championship here at the Jack Reilly tournament. Under 45 seconds left to go in the third quarter. Briggs lofting it over back to Crawford to the near side. Stang watching him as they'll get it over to Crawford. Under 30 seconds left in the quarter. Fort Lee trying to press out a little bit more on defense out of their 2-3 zone look. Briggs with 8 in the game, gets by his defender, cuts through the middle, weaves his way through, misses the layup though. Latson secures the offensive possession though. Latson just took it right out of the hands of Gakian. Step back 3, that's going to be short. An air ball secured by Garcia. And 3 quarters of action are in the books here at Fort Lee. 38-28, the lead for John F. Kennedy of Patterson, as they are 1 quarter away from repeating as tournament champions here at Fort Lee. Kennedy on top of Fort Lee by 10. Stick around as we'll be bringing you the fourth quarter of action here from East Gym coming up next here on YouTube. As we're getting set to start the fourth quarter of play, Fort Lee, how many more opportunities do they have in the tank here to try to pull back closer and closer? They've started to knock down some shots. They outscored Kennedy 13-11 in that third quarter. They have work to do down by 10 as we enter into the fourth quarter. Dan Long alongside Dimitri Nanis and Renee Matisich. So glad that he could join us here on the Fort Lee Athletic Department's YouTube channel. Ogadegbe, very tough shot there, fading away close to his own sideline, missing the jumper. The Bridgemen defensively have played well, considering that Kennedy erupted for 87 points in the semifinals and are held right now to 38 in the game. Crawford into the corner. That's where Briggs is. Up top to Romero. Romero weaving through and missing it off the back rim. Pinballs away from both teams, and it's going to be last touch deemed off of Kennedy, as Gore could not get it cleanly, as well as Latson was in the area trying to secure that offensive board. Isaiah Stang taken to the far side. Stang has to get going here in the fourth quarter. To Martinez. Martinez off the dribble, picks up his dribble. Dangerous play there as its last touch off of Crawford to the near side. Good recovery defense, but again, that's not where you want to pick up your dribble and where you want to try to outlet it. It's a turnover waiting to happen. Tinsley with a quick inbounds to Garcia, tries the up and under reverse layup attempt, no good. As that will go out of bounds off of Kennedy, and now it's going to be an opportunity here for Fort Lee. As it's going to be a timeout taken by Coach Adam Schrager. His team down by 10. He's going to be trying to draw something up on the dry erase board to try to pull his team closer and closer here in the 2021 Jack Reilly Tournament Championship. Good final here. Kennedy on top of Fort Lee, 38-28. 6:40 left to go in our fourth quarter of play. Jang looking to inbound it. Gets it into the hands of Isaiah Stang. Stang at 8 points in the first half and another three. This time for Isaiah Stang. Stang's second made three of the game. He's got 14 to lead the way for Fort Lee. Lead is now back down to 7, 38-31. Solid performance so far here by Fort Lee, led by the heroics of Isaiah Stang. Can their defense lock down here in the fourth quarter? Briggs missing that floater. Ball's loose inside. Garcia corrals it. Here comes Stang in the open floor. Poked away by Romero. Inbounds upcoming underneath the rim now for Fort Lee. Inbounds to Martinez. Martinez lost the handle though. There goes Briggs the other way in the open floor. Left-hand layup is good. Daquan Briggs now with 10 points in this game. 5:40 left to go in the fourth quarter. Lead back to 9, 40-31. Garcia handing it off to Stang. Stang reversing it around. Here comes Jang for three. No good. Short. Romero with the rebound. Devin Jang with only one made three-pointer in this game for Fort Lee. Here's Romero. He's been relatively held in check in this championship final. Latson underneath, hook shot, no good. Jang trying to win on that weak side rebound. No good, and then a travel called against Romero on the baseline. As Ogadegbe and Gakian will come back in now for Fort Lee. 3 minutes gone by in the fourth quarter. Ogadegbe now bringing it up the floor. His team down by 9. They've trailed by as many as 16. Garcia handing it off to Stang. Stang stripped as he was making his way through. And talk about this, and now looking at the scoreboard, how well played this second half has been. Both teams, before that foul, only one foul apiece in the second half. Second team foul against the Knights. Second personal foul against Romero. Stang a little out of control. Garcia trying to bring it from underneath. He stripped cleanly. Here comes Crawford the other way. Crawford pull-up jumper. He is fouled in the act of shooting. And that'll send Yasin Crawford to the line, shooting 2 with 4:27 left to go here in the fourth quarter. As that foul will go against Ogadegbe, that is going to be his third personal, team second. Crawford knocks in the first foul shot. 17 points in the game for the senior point guard. Second foul shot also good. 18 points in the game for Crawford. Lead back to 11, 42-31 for Kennedy. Ogadegbe handing it off to Garcia at the elbow. Double team coming to him. Garcia made the spin and a nice finish there. Garcia with 6 points in the game, all coming here in the second half. That was a beautiful move. He sensed the double team coming from his blind side and turned and went to the right side of the hoop. 42-33. Dumped down low. Latson off balance, missing the shot, falling down in the process. Here comes Isaiah Stang. Time running short here for Fort Lee. They got to get going. Stang with a crossover on Romero. Try to bank it in. No good. Latson with a rebound. Here comes Crawford. Crawford watched by Ogadegbe. Gore. And he's going to be fouled on his way up to the hoop, so Jalen Gore should be getting two-shot opportunity with 3:22 left to go. That is going to be the fourth personal foul against Ogadegbe, so he is in foul difficulty. Gore missing on that first foul shot. Bem Ogadegbe, the second leading scorer for Fort Lee, has to play now with 4 personal fouls in this game. Second foul shot is good by Gore. He goes 1 of 2 at the line, and he's got 3 in the game. Lead back to 10, 43-33. And Fort Lee, miscommunication on the inbounds. They turn it right back over. Can't afford those empty opportunities and possessions. Not in a championship final against Kennedy. Here comes Crawford. Watched by Ogadegbe. The switch, Gakian now pressing out. Crawford getting around him, pull-up jumper, no good. Stang, he'll box out. Gore had a touch off of his hands last, goes out of bounds. So here comes the inbounds for Fort Lee. 3 minutes exactly remaining here in the fourth quarter. 43-33. Kennedy trying to repeat as Holiday champs. They get it over now to Gakian. Fort Lee trying to win their first team title since 2018. There goes Isaiah Stang off the assist from Gakian. 16 in the game for the junior. His best performance of the season. Romero trying to initiate the contact. Fort Lee was hoping for a push-off offensive foul there. 8-point lead. Briggs shakes and bakes on Gakian, cuts across, feeds Latson on the baseline. Latson up and under, it's good. LaDorian Latson with a clutch hoop there. Off the assist from Jaquan Briggs. And Fort Lee once again trails by 10, 45-35 with 2:15 left to go here in the fourth. We're getting closer and closer to the finish line here of the tournament championship. Time running out here for the Bridgemen, trying a comeback attempt. They trail by 10, 45-35 with 2:15 left to go in regulation. It's been a great performance here by Fort Lee, stepping up certainly against this competition. But they're not in the business of moral victories. They want to win the ultimate championship title. Tinsley getting it. He sets and fires from 3. Contact, but they deem it to be a clean contest. Missed 3, and now under 2 minutes left to go in regulation. Romero with only 3 points in this game, watched by Ogadegby. He has to be careful. Bem has 4 fouls. Bridgman with plenty of fouls to give. Now Briggs watched by Tinsley. Fort Lee's going to have to try to foul if they don't get steals quickly here. They need to administer the fouls. Here's Briggs across the middle. Give and go on the baseline. Stolen away by Stang. Isaiah Stang the other way. Kick out in the corner. Ogadegby down low on the base. On the baseline to Garcia. Reverses it up top. Stang hesitates. Lost the dribble inside. A tie-up ensues. And a jump ball possession arrow favoring Kennedy. Stang had an opportunity at the 3. Elected to pull it down and drive down the middle of the lane, but in doing so, turned it over on the jump ball. Tinsley going all out to try to procure that loose ball. Tinsley trying to steal it away, and he gets called for the reach-in. So again, with 1:08 remaining in this contest, Fort Lee with fouls to give. It's only the 4th team foul against the Bridgemen. Have to foul a couple more times to get to 17 fouls to put Kennedy on the line. Kennedy is going to be fine with just using a little more clock, trying to salt this one away and win back-to-back team championships. Crawford outlets it over to the far side. Briggs crossing up on Gakian. No foul given yet, as Kennedy just continues to play on and plays keep away. Time is on their side. Fort Lee's got to get going here. They have fouls to give, but it looks like Fort Lee's not giving them. Here's Crawford right down the lane, and it's going to be a blocking foul and 1. So that's the worst case scenario for Fort Lee. They gave up a ton of time, and eventually it ends as an and 1 situation. As Yasin Crawford now with a game-high 20 points, and he'll have a chance at a 3-point play with 36.7 seconds left to go here in the 4th. As Coach Tommy Patterson knows this game is no longer in doubt, he empties his bench and brings on his reserves. And what about this? Getting a call at the last second to come play basketball in a holiday tournament and making the most of those opportunities and eventually finding your way once again into the winner's circle and winning a championship. They had to survive in their opening game in overtime by 1 point over Memorial. Memorial missed a shot at the buzzer that would have won the game. Kennedy survived, put up a dominant performance in the semis against Passaic Valley, and now on their way to winning back-to-back team titles. As Kennedy and Jeremiah Klein getting pushed there. 16 fouls now against the Bridgemen. As it will be another timeout taken on the floor. Kennedy in charge here by 13, 48-35. Kennedy with the win would improve to 3-2 on the season. Their road ahead in their schedule. They'll head on the road for 3 straight at Passaic, at Eastside, and at DePaul Catholic on January 4th, 6th, and 8th before coming home to host Clifton. For the Bridgemen, after this one, starting off the new year, they'll be hosting Dwight Morrow here in a divisional game in the American Division on January 4th before hitting the road for 3 straight at Dumont, at West Milford, and at Ridgeville Park before coming back home here on the 13th to host arch rival Cliffside Park. 24.2 seconds left to go in this championship final. Kennedy inbounding it. Fort Lee with the full court pressure. We'll see if the Bridgemen will elect to foul and send Kennedy to the line. They drop it down low on the baseline. Pullback jumper is no good. Stang with a rebound. He'll outlet it down the floor to Tinsley, and Tinsley will lay it up and in for his first 2 points of the championship. But that will do it as Kennedy will throw it down the other way. And your 2021 Jack Reilly Holiday Tournament champions are the Kennedy Knights by a final score of 48-37. Kennedy comes here and wins and now will be awarded the championship trophy, as we'll get to all the particulars in a moment's notice. Again, Kennedy holds on to win in impressive fashion, 48-37. Fort Lee falls to 4-3 on the season, while Kennedy will improve to 3-2. We'll get to the announcing here, as I'll do the honors of who the team trophies go to, as well as the tournament MVP. So stay tuned here on the broadcast. Here to support this 2021 Jack Reilly Holiday Tournament. Now a round of applause for our second place team, the runners-up in the championship, the Fort Lee Bridgemen. Again, a round of applause for Fort Lee, runners-up for this year's holiday tournament. And now, repeating as the Jack Reilly Holiday Tournament champs here for 2021, the John F. Kennedy Knights. valuable player goes to Kennedy's number 11, Jaquan Briggs. Thank you, everybody, for coming out in attendance here to support all the student athletes from all the respective teams. We thank you very much and wish you a very happy New Year. Let me just finish up. So that'll do it here from East Gymnasium at Fort Lee. Again, congratulations to the John F. Kennedy Knights of Patterson, your 2021 Jack Reilly Holiday Tournament champions, as they outlasted Fort Lee by a score of 48-37. Jaquan Briggs, the senior star for Kennedy, named the MVP of the tournament. He was sensational as he finished with 10 points in this championship game. Yasin Crawford was the leading scorer with 21 points in the final for both sides as we put a bow on this one. Special thanks again to Mike Raftery, the athletic director here at Fort Lee. And again, we could not do these broadcasts without the efforts of Renee Matisich, Andrew Park, and Dimitri Nanis. They were spectacular in helping to get all of these games on the air here on YouTube. And we thank you, the fans, for tuning in, supporting all of the student athletes from all of the 8 different schools. We thank you for your feedback, and it was a pleasure to broadcast each and every game. So that'll do it for us here from East Gymnasium. Again, Kennedy, your 2021 Jack Reilly Holiday Champions. For everybody here from Fort Lee, I'm Dan Long saying so long and Happy New Year. We'll see you in 2022. Take care, everybody.